And they have their own post office to send postcards. Mint Julep, that's us.
Yeah.
John, you next to us?
Oh.
Are names on here?
Yes, ma'am. We got postcards. So Mint Julep's set up along.
Okay.
One
Over
got
here
7
too?
of you, I believe. So yeah, these are all juleps with the red trays.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
It should say mint
Yeah, you
julep.
do have the hair pickings. Yep, that's it.
Don't knock my drinks over.
When we start drinking, watch out, elbows are flying.
Good presentation, isn't it?
Please.
Yeah.
I got a little bit of stuff to it as well.
Bobby's got the best job in the house.
Yeah, I can't tell.
Nobody monitors those bottles.
So
Yeah.
before we taste anything, look at your chart, you'll see it's all off of the same mash bill. So every bit of it, same mash bill, 84% corn, 8% rye, 8% barley. So you're gonna think, it should taste the same. It's off the same mash bill, it's all distilled the same way, but it won't. Thanks to the magic of the barrel, how long it aged in the barrel, how many barrels are blended together to make a particular product. So the very first one you're going to try is our white corn whiskey. This is our #1 foundation recipe. All of our whiskeys start out just like this. So this is the stuff you saw flowing off the stills, but it's just not 150 proof anymore. It's been watered down to 91. So a little more drinkable. Unless you like 150 proof alcohol, and I couldn't handle it. So this is just going to give you an idea of what it tastes like coming off the still before it goes in the barrel, because that barrel will change the flavor of it completely. So it's pretty smooth to be 91 proof. So go ahead and give it a smell, give it a taste, see what you think.
Smells nutty.
Is this before or after the oil's been taken out?
It still goes to the charcoal.
And the blankets?
Yes, sir.
Walk out here with your eyes crossed, huh?
Did you put that stuff in a spray bottle and spray doorknobs and your hands, kill viruses?
To start a fire too?
Yeah, start a fire as well.
Little flames.
That's
Pretty smooth, really.
It is.
Sweet.
Yeah.
It is. It's got a
Almost like almonds.
sweet corn. You can even pick up the yeasty taste.
Yeah.
What, I used to swear Jameson had sugar in it, but it's not.
No, it's all corn. Sweet stuff. I like the white whiskey. A lot of people, they cringe when I tell them it's moonshine. They say have bad experiences with moonshine. This stuff's pretty good.
That's the 150
This
proof
is all-
moonshine.
No.
Or 120 even.
What does moonshine have to be
So
percentage wise?
the definition of moonshine is illegally distilled.
Illegally?
Illegally
Yeah.
distilled. Our stuff is legal, but there is no limit.
So it doesn't have to be 100 proof or something? Okay.
So the definition of the word moonshine is really just because
Illegal.
it's illegal,
Mhm.
basically.
So
And
of
that's
course, it
the
doesn't say
difference.
it on our label.
Right.
We're calling it white corn whiskey, but it's the same thing as moonshine.
Okay.
Fun fact.
So moving on to your second one, and before you put it down, save a little bit because I'd like you to compare it to the third one, which is the Dickel Bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
So what is Dickel 12? This is not 12-year-old whiskey. This is recipe number 12. There is no age statement on this label. That means it's a blend of various age barrels. There are some young barrels and some old barrels in this blend. Hundreds of them. That keeps this tasting consistent from batch to batch. It's 90 proof. So this is our most popular one. All the liquor stores should have number 12. If you go to a restaurant and they're making cocktails with George Dickel, more than likely this is what they're using, number 12. So it's a sour mash whiskey. Go ahead and give it a taste and just leave it a little bit behind. See what you think about it.
You could smell the barrel in it immediately.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
So it's just a recipe.
It is.
Dickel number 12 is a recipe.
So back in the very beginning,
So
they
when
did
someone
have,
comes up to you and says it's 12-year-old,
yes.
it's not
I
12.
mean, there are some restaurants that will say 12-year-old George Dickel. Don't fall for it. It's just number 12.
It's just number 12. Okay.
I'm gonna say Bobby said it.
Yep.
Bobby
Bobby
I'm gonna
said.
say Bobby said.
I'm gonna call you out.
That is a false fact.
They can call me here, Mr. Sam. Straight them out.
The impression doesn't hurt either. 12, okay, I'll have some of the 12. 12 year, well, it's not.
Number 12.
Okay.
So, you know,
Recipe.
recipes, you know, we have one recipe here. We got the same mash bill. But back years ago, when it first started, it was, you know, recipe number 12. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just kind of, you just left it number 12. So, the third one you're going to try, which I want you to compare it to, is the bourbon. Dickel Bourbon. This is a new product. We released it last summer, so it's just about a year old now. It's already won 5th best whiskey, or voted 5th best whiskey of the world by Whiskey Addict. Already won an award. So I've told you the difference between whiskey and bourbon. I've told you that all of our whiskeys meet the criteria to be called a bourbon. So this one, we actually have an age statement on it. It says aged 8 years. So that means the youngest barrel in this blend is 8 years old. So there are some older barrels in the blend. When it was blended together, Nicole, the tasting team, noticed that it had sweeter flavor than 12. So they simply decided to just call this one a bourbon. It's already a bourbon. But it's still charcoal filtered. It still follows the Lincoln County process. But we just decided to just call this one a bourbon. And you're going to notice when you taste it, it's going to be a lot sweeter than 12.
Do you toast your barrels?
Yes, so we don't. They come already charred. We actually have a barrel stayed here.
Oh.
So level 4. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that means they toast it for like 40 seconds, something like that.
Is that oak?
Yeah.
French oak?
This is white oak.
Oh, white oak.
White oak. Do they start as anything? Are they used for wine or beer?
When they're finished,
Or I guess?
when they come brand new.
They come brand new and
Tennessee
burned.
whiskey must be aged in a brand new barrel. They cannot be reused again for Tennessee whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
So our barrels go to a lot of Scotch distilleries, especially Johnny Walker.
Really?
Diageo is in charge of George Dickel. They own George Dickel. They also own Johnny Walker. So spent George Dickel barrels. That's where most of them go.
And who is Diageo?
They're overseas. They own a lot of big name distilleries like Crown Royal, Bailey, Smirnoff.
So are they like a parent company or no? That's not what their role is in this. No.
I don't think so. It's just big
Corp-
corporation.
The corporate boss.
Yeah, the biggest boss. So did y'all notice the difference between bourbon and 12 when you pick it up?
Mm-hmm.
I personally like the bourbon better.
Me too.
Me too.
I think it's easier to drink. I like 12 good, but I think that bourbon's a little easier to drink.
It is.
Is this the same creek water that we're drinking?
It is. Snakes, get good flavors.
They're not lying. There's some fat, juicy ones out there.
There's some big ones.
Yeah.
Sometimes they reach way up here. Only in the middle of summer. It's real hot.
Do you want none of my-
What's that?
Would they be copperheads then?
He said.
Because they're near the water? No? I don't know.
Most of the time it's just water snakes.
Oh, okay.
They are out here. Copperheads are out here.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like.
Most of the time it's a water snake. Some of the water snakes are just like copperheads.
They
Mhm.
do.
You gotta be careful. You gotta look at their head. Make sure they have that diamond shaped head.
Water
The
moccasin.
mean looking eyeballs.
The red glowing eyes.
So you've been here all your life?
I've lived out this part my whole life.
Okay.
Alright, so moving on to your fourth one, Barrel Select. This one's bottled here on site because it's a small batch of whiskey. Your previous two, your bourbon and your 12, blends of hundreds of barrels. Barrel Select is a small batch blend. No more than 25 barrels were selected for this one. Doesn't have an age statement on the label, so it's still a blend of young barrels and old barrels. But they use older barrels for this blend. And you're gonna notice this has a creamier mouthfeel to it. This one is good mellow. It's also a lower proof. It's 86 proof. We sell a whole lot of this here at the store. I think this is your top selling one here. So barrel select is some good whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a toss up for a lot of people, bourbon or barrel select. They really don't know which one's their favorite. But usually it's barrel select.
I like the bourbon.
I like
Oh, I
number
do.
12.
I like the bourbon best.
I did. I like the bourbon. I think a little better. What do you think? Which one do you think?
This one's sweeter to me.
So what's everyone think?
I noticed some I think would be better for a mixed drink.
Yes, I think bourbon and 12.
12,
Cold
absolutely.
cocktails.
Yeah.
The last one's good for a
This is a
sipper.
Your older stuff, small batch whiskey is good for sipping on.
Mhm.
You know.
What is this? Smooth.
I agree. I like mine deep.
What do you like?
Sometimes you know some ice
Which one do you like? I can tell which one you don't
I
like.
like ice in mine.
No, I saved some of this to compare against.
I like an ice cube in it just to sip it. Yeah,
It
thank you.
does.
It does.
It really does.
I just like it.
Are these from the printing company?
Those, I don't know who makes them, but I do know during the summer we have our front porch Fridays. So once
Yeah.
a month during the summer,
Oh, gosh.
we'll have some bands come in and we'll have food trucks and cocktails.
Oh,
We just have a
nice.
good time out here.
Oh,
Really?
Sounds like
I
a
just
fun
didn't
time.
know they were.
Actually, I drink every one of these the same.
From downtown.
They just sing you.
No, but
Probably.
like, it's hard to pick a favorite
Probably is.
Yeah.
because they taste different each way.
So you guys have a couple extras. Anything interest anyone? Let me know. They charge $6 for an extra taste. So we have a 9-year-old single barrel. We offer single barrels here. We do a single barrel program for liquor stores, restaurants, even individuals if you want a barrel. So this stuff came out of one barrel. Our blend barrels are like snowflakes and fingerprints. You know, no two are the same. Each barrel will give a different flavor. Even if it was barreled on the same day, still gonna give a different flavor. So some people like to capture those unique notes and they will, buy it. We have a 9-year here, so if you bought this one from our store today, if the liquor store in your hometown has a 9-year-old George Dickel single barrel, it's gonna taste different than this one. It's gonna have different notes, different flavors. So this is 100 proof, and it's very smooth, pretty good whiskey. Out of one barrel, you will get about 150, 9-year, 150 bottles.
What's a delivered barrel cost?
Cost about, it's gonna be $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 for a barrel. So you're gonna get all the bottles, you're gonna get the empty barrel.
Oh, okay.
And you'll have a hang tag that we put on it that'll have your name, the name of the purchaser. Your name will be on the tag.
Have you had any bars order a whole barrel?
Oh yeah,
I think.
whole barrel. We've had people come in by multiple.
Oh, wow.
Most of the time liquor stores.
Is there a big savings that way?
I don't think so.
$10,000.
Doomsday.
don't think so.
Doomsday prepping.
You gotta pour a lot of whiskey.
Back to the liquor store and make profit on it
The honky tonks in town in Tennessee could probably go through a barrel.
pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Pretty quickly. What do y'all think of the 9-year single barrel?
It's nice. It's your favorite.
I said I like the bourbon the best, but that's a lie. I like the 9-year-old. We also have a 15-year single barrel, so this one aged an extra 6 years. Darker in color, sat in that barrel longer, takes more of those oak tannins with it, stronger in flavor. Had more time to pull more of those flavors out of your whip. So you're going to get less bottles out of an older barrel thanks to that angel share. It sits longer, more evaporates.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to yield less bottles. A lot of these older ones are pricier.
Bobby, can I try that one?
Yeah, we want to try it too.
All right, and just pay up front.
Okay.
$11 up front. That's a quarter ounce pour. Anybody else like a 15-year?
Yeah, 2 of those.
You wanna try it?
Let's split a taste. Because
Yeah, I don't.
I'm not sensing the huge variety.
I enjoy it. Too bad they won't let us
I
taste
still
it.
don't.
What's his name?
At the small distillery believers, they do. He drinks with you.
Oh, how
Well, we can tell you some for
Oh, I know.
You don't. Anybody else want to say?
Bobby, we'll have one.
Yes, sir.
I'm also.
Just one. Let's have a little taste.
Anyone else? Okay. The smell.
What strength is the whiskey when it comes out of the barrel? Is it like 120?
Go ahead, just give it a smell and a taste.
That's the older, the longer a barrel sits, it drops. Unless that barrel is like on the top right, like the Johnson house.
I like that a lot.
Well,
I like so humid.
they good, better, best, ultimate, extraordinaire.
So does that mean it's like, because what is their entry?
Where's your glass? You want a taste?
Tennessee whiskey no higher than 125 proof. So we barrel it under 115.
Okay.
Thank
So
you.
it's coming out like one.
Cheers. We'll split the ages. It's 15 and 9. See if they get along. Make our own blend.
15 years we leave it there.
That is delicious.
It's good, right?
Alright, so now we have a bottled and bond whiskey.
good sipping whiskey.
Anybody know what bottled and bond means?
No.
Alright.
Actually, that one's got more of a bite to
You
me.
go. Yeah.
That one has more of a bite to me. Yeah.
No, wait. Let's hear it from them.
You're trying to, what do you know about it? Yeah, what do you know about it?
Means that it's all had been distilled in the same season, has to be 100 proof, has to be at least 4 years old, and bottled by the distillery that made it.
Sure, that's exactly it.
Federally regulated.
So,
Yeah.
the one you're trying to follow up 08. So, where did the name Bottled and Bond come from? What does that mean? So, the Bottled and Bond Act of 1897 was passed to protect whiskey drinkers from drinking fake whiskey. So, back in those days, before Prohibition, it was very common for bootleggers and whiskey runners to take their white whiskey. They would add colors to it. They would add substances to it. Sometimes whatever they added was poisonous.
Oh, jeez.
Like iodine, turpentine, tobacco. Sometimes it wasn't even alcohol, it was something like punch dinner. They add color to it.
Wood alcohol.
You can only imagine what happened if you drink
Yeah.
that.
Go blind.
Yeah, you
Wood alcohol makes you go blind.
Yeah.
get sick. So people cried out for help. Something needed to be done. So Bottled and Bond Act of 1897 was passed. So in order for a distillery to make bottled and bond whiskey, they must follow those strict guidelines that are different than other whiskeys. So the most unique one is it must be distilled within a certain season, the spring or the fall of the same year. Okay, it must be distilled by one distiller at one distillery, and it must say on the label distilled by whoever made it. It must age at least 4 years in the warehouse, government bonded warehouse. Nothing can be added to the whiskey other than water. No caramel color,